Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR Today for Friday morning. It's April 9th, 2021. We are in the WrestleMania weekend. Holy smokes. WrestleMania weekend is now. It's Friday. Tonight, we've got the WrestleMania Smackdown. Tomorrow night, night one of WrestleMania. Sunday, night two of WrestleMania. Monday, Raw after WrestleMania. And then Tuesday, NXT debuts on its new night and time. So, Matthew Thomas, good morning. Come on in here. Let's get started. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. And the cool thing is, not only is this WrestleMania week, on the other side of it, you're going into a new lineup of wrestling. I mean, you've got your mainstays, Raw still Monday, Friday, SmackDown still Friday, but my goodness, now you have a whole dedicated night for NXT, a whole dedicated night for AEW, a whole dedicated night for Impact. It is a new frontier in professional wrestling.
New Frontier Professional Wrestling sounds like NFPW. New Frontier Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, that's the new promotion that you and I have been talking about starting, where it's pretty much kind of a frontier gimmick. We got a guy who's kind of like a Paul Bunyan. Then we got another guy who
matter of fact,
our Oregon Trail.
Our TV champion's the guy named Slappy McButtnuts.
Yeah, man, I'm surprised we were able to get that guy. That's that was really the first signee.
Here's the funny thing: why does he wear a mask? Because I mean, that name itself is money. Yeah. The mask doesn't need to be there.
And really, what I'm looking forward to is, pound for pound, we've got more oxen than really any other promotion.
On that note, let's talk about what you would put on an oxen if you were outside. You'd put them in collar and elbow gear. 10% off with the promo code PWR360 from collarandelbowbrand.com. Get them in the latest and greatest in street fashion for wrestling and oxen fans.
And here's the thing. I don't think it's any big secret that most of the typical, oxen you see are not very well groomed.
No, that's why we get on over to manscaped.com. Shear your sheep and your oxen with manscaped.com. Use the promo code PWR. Save yourself 20% and shear 100% of your oxen. And wear yourself a nice oxen knit sweater.
I mean, I don't know really what more you can ask for.
We could ask for some more TakeOver results. Night 2 is in the books. That was last night. Let's talk about what happened on the pre-show. Killian Dane and Drake Maverick defeats Breezango for an NXT Tag Team title opportunity against the new champs, MSK. Matthew, your thoughts on Breezango not getting the opportunity, and it's Killian Dane and Drake Maverick coming out as the number one contenders.
I really like the dynamic with this tag team, and I've kind of got my list that I've gone over here in the last several weeks on AEW as far as talent that needs to be featured in some capacity on a weekly basis to keep the viewers familiar with them. And I think Drake Maverick is another one of those top contenders. I think he's somebody that needs to be seen on your television set each week on NXT, and this is a step in the right direction.
All right, Big Show opens up proper with Poppy. And no, that's not a member of the Trolls. That is the band Poppy singing Stand and Deliver. Matthew, I was into the music when I heard the guitars and the drums and just the crunchiness. I love the contrast of the very soft voice. But when she started screaming in the ring, it was a wrap for me. Your thoughts on Poppy and Stand and Deliver?
Not my cup of tea, but when I hear Poppy, that was apparently the Bush family's name for the patriarch of the Bush family, George H.W. Bush, was what they referred to as Poppy. So a lot of difference between this performance and what I would have expected to see from a George H.W. Bush performance had he still been alive.
Former President Herbert Walker George Bush. Let's talk about the opening matchup in NXT Stand and Deliver. Night 2, Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin battling for the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Championship in a ladder match. The winner and the now undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion, as predicted by the man they call Meathead, Santos Escobar.
Although prior to going into this, I do want to go back. You know how I knew that one time that George H.W. Bush was lip syncing?
Tell me.
I read his lips.
Oh, boy.
Read my lips, no new taxes. That's a deep dive into some George H.W.
Read
Bush
my lips, no new taxes.
So, I got this one wrong. I would soon make up for getting this one wrong, but I thought it was a good match. And, like we kind of speculated, it's nice and refreshing to see a one-on-one ladder match. We're so conditioned to multi-man ladder matches, which you have to go into the normal pattern just to make it work of, two guys taking center stage and everybody else playing dead. That's not the case when you've got a one-on-one. Thought it was good. Thought it was a ladder match that was not just a high spot fest. One interesting thing of note here, and I'm sure it's been done in previous ladder matches, but I don't remember it. Normally, you have the ring absolutely decorated with ladders. They actually had to go under the ring and pull the ladder out, which I thought was a nice touch here.
Nice touch.
Overall, really good way to open up the show. And although I was wrong, I like where they ended up going here. And I did not realize that the former title holder had it for over a year. I distinctly remember that was Rumble weekend. I think it was the NXT event prior to the Rumble, because I was out of town, and I was so impressed that I was able to get the WWE Network, and I had rigged up my my little HDMI phone adapter to my TV in my hotel room, and I was so proud to be watching the network in a hotel. And I do distinctly remember him getting that title win, and my goodness, that was January of 2020. So in a lot of ways, it doesn't seem that long, and it seems like it's decades ago.
Absolutely. Let's talk about another championship match. It was Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon taking on the team of Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, The Way. You don't get to see Indy Hartwell wrestle as often, but when she does, she's got some talent.
Yes, she does. Did not pick up the win tonight, but I believe I called this. So my previous match that I got wrong, I got this one right. You got this one wrong. So that means you and I would not get another prediction wrong for the rest of the evening. So I think that kind of let us come out all fair and square after last night.
So let me ask you this. For the tiebreaker, what does Shotzi Blackheart's tank say on it, and what does it mean?
She's got TCB, which I assume is taking care of business, right?
I thought it was Toasty Coma Babe, but I'm kidding. Yes, it's taking care of business. I had to look that up last night. I was like, man, you know what? One of these days we're going to figure out what TCB stands for, because I just have no idea.
Here's the thing. Reason I knew that was because of the Memphis Mafia. Yeah, man, TCB been around for a long time. That goes back to the Elvis and the Memphis Mafia days.
Yes, it does.
Most of Memphis Mafia, TCB with the little lightning bolt. Yes, sir. Yes. And if you're ever up in this neck of the woods, a place that is actually frequented by the Memphis Mafia, Nick's Cafe in Lakewood, Colorado. It's actually operated by a gentleman who used to work at I believe it was the Gold Mine, which used to be the restaurant that made the patented peanut butter, bacon, and banana sandwiches that Elvis was known to actually fly to. I don't know if it was DIA or a private little airport, but Nick at Nick's Cafe would actually make the sandwiches and bring them to Elvis on the plane. Well, after his career there, he opened up this nice it's a little hole in the wall joint. It's really small inside, but chock full of Elvis memorabilia. And, anybody who's anybody in the Elvis community, when they're in the Denver area, that's where they stop by and get their fixings at.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, yeah. I don't mind Elvis, right? I'm kind of indifferent on him. But do you know who I really enjoy? Johnny Bravo. Do you know who Johnny Bravo is? Do you remember Johnny Bravo?
Oh, yes. Early Cartoon Network guy, right?
Yep. Johnny Bravo sounded like Elvis, but he was a clown. He's like, hey there, little mama. Here, ha, here, ha.
My favorite Johnny Bravo quote, I believe it went something like, that's enough about you. Let's talk about me.
That's enough about you. Let's talk about me, baby.
You got to get to work on that Elvis covers album, man. I know it's coming out soon, man.
I did it again.
I want to hear. You know what? I think is it Megan Thee Stallion? I think she's got a song out that Elvis is going to have to get around to covering here soon.
I got that wet. Sorry. NXT Women's Champions Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon defeat The Way, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell in a very solid match. Now, we didn't like the number one contender of the match. Not that we were against them, but we were hoping for maybe somebody other than Bronson Reed. That doesn't matter. Bronson Reed looked amazing in this match against the North American champion, Johnny Gargano. Gargano retains against Bronson Reed.
And Reed still coming out looking strong because he was in a grueling matchup last night. So he's got that out. It puts him on the big stage, gets Gargano out of there with the title.
Johnny TakeOver.
Makes Reed look strong. I think it was a mixed bag for the way last night. You got half of the way not picking up the win in the tag team women's match, but you got Johnny Gargano coming out on top.
I was thrown off because when this match started, I'm like, wait, well, I guess this match could take it to the top of the hour and end the show. Wait a minute. They said this is one of two main events. Oh, Cross Balor is the first match between two main events. That means that Cole and Riley is going to close. Okay. Wow. All right, let's go. Cross and Finn Balor. And they beat the piss out of each other.
Yeah.
I love the entrance out of Karrion Kross. The black and whites come to the ring. I do get a little distracted, though. And maybe I'm wrong, Matthew. I want you to tell me about this in a second. What is Karrion Kross's girl's name? Is that Scarlett?
Scarlett, yeah.
She needs to stop convulsing in the ring. I've had enough. I mean, it's not even funny anymore. I mean, just the pulsating and convulsing that she's doing like she's having a sugar crash or something.
Yeah.
Karrion Kross is awesome on his own. He looks great with her, but she's got to dial it down a notch. Finn Balor came out looking good, looking like a champion. I love the little flashes of him all throughout the arena right before he gets out there. At the end, Karrion Kross, again, beat the piss out of Finn Balor to the point where that dude could not answer the bell anymore. Your winner and new NXT champion, Karrion Kross.
And I think this might have been the longest Karrion Kross match we've had in NXT. You know, a lot of his earlier victories have been very overpowering. His initial title victory, I think, was relatively quick. The Ciampa match he had early on was pretty quick as well, too. So it was an interesting, style here. And the fact that it went a while. And quite honestly, I was starting to second guess our predictions yesterday when the match went as long as it did. It seemed to, favor, man, maybe Balor's going to pull it out here. But no, a definite changing of the guard. We've got a new NXT champion.
The main event. Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole. This match went longer than I thought. One, because, again, we're at the top of the hour going, dude, this match is starting 3 minutes to the top of the hour. All right, so they're going to go overrun. I give these guys 15, 20 minutes. They ran about 40 minutes to this match. A couple of amazing spots. Everybody was walking on that stage. The band was up there playing on that stage. Well, when the lights went out, when they started introducing people, they gimmicked up the stage because the spot through the stage and then Adam Cole dragging Kyle O'Reilly through the side of the stage. Yeah. Wow.
Just an overall brutal match. The spots with the chains, the spot on the table that didn't break. So interesting that you had all the table cleared with the exception of the very end where the spot happened. You still had that monitor iPad there, which I thought was very interesting, but very tough match to watch at times just for the sheer physicality, the physicality with the objects. It's going to be interesting to see if this gets any play in the next couple of days, but I believe I counted 2 unprotected headshots, which you don't see a lot of. And I'm not somebody on here who is clamoring for blood and guts all the time. I think this is one match that could have potentially been enhanced with a little bit of color with the story they were trying to tell. WWE in 2021 and on Peacock, not quite the story they're trying to tell, but my goodness, the sheer, brutality and physicality. O'Reilly's back at the very end of this match was just beat, slam up. My goodness, how many times can, Adam Cole and O'Reilly just continue to put together these just brutal NXT matches? I want to go back to something too that I noticed over the last.
I have one thing I need to bring up too.
You go right ahead. Go ahead. Yep. The NXT style, so different from the main roster style in the fact that how many of these matches on these last 2 nights of TakeOver have not been won with a traditional finishing maneuver, have been done by just beating the guy up or, a chop like we saw in the Walter match. That's one thing that NXT, I think, does a really good job of. They've gotten away from that formula of finishing maneuver, false finish, finishing maneuver, false finish, kicking out of the guy's finisher 3 or 4 times. I like the fact that NXT has kind of advanced the psychology beyond that.
I noticed audio issues last night, and it's been bugging me for the last couple nights because I noticed it on Wednesday night on USA as well, and I've noticed it honestly in the Capitol Wrestling Center when they get really excited. Who's the lead play-by-play again? His name slips my mind. Vic
Joseph.
Vic Joseph. The audio coming from his mic, he sounds like he's canned.
Yeah.
And if you listen to audio coming from Wade Barrett or Beth Phoenix, really, you can hear the intensity cranked up in her as well. She was to the point of screaming, which that is new to me. I mean, we're used to having Beth now, and we're not used to having women, say, over the last 30 years calling matches, but we're used to listening to Beth. Now, Beth is great. I enjoy Beth. But she was screaming at the end of the match. It's something to watch. It's something to listen to, and it's different. But there's something going on with Vic Joseph's mic. It's not Vic's fault. They got to fix the audio.
You know what I think they should probably do would be a really good lesson for him, and quite honestly, just a textbook example of how to call a match. If they go back and listen to our April the 1st show, I think they're going to learn a lot.
I think it's because their intensity is so cranked up. They're in an empty studio, to be honest with you, with maybe 50 people in it.
Yeah. No, and I'll tell you, if you go back to last WrestleMania, and probably some of the Raws and SmackDowns, when they were just getting everything straight, I distinctly remember, being able to, there was a bit of an echo, I think, on Cole, where, you could hear him in the arena and also on the mic, or, maybe, I think it was actually, you know what it was? I think it was the replays where you would actually hear his audio, not mic'd, but basically his audible audio in the replay, and then he's trying to call the replay over top of it. Yeah, it's one of those things that you never would have thought twice about in a 15, 20,000 seat arena. That is something that needs to be looked at now.
Let's talk about SmackDown for tonight. The WrestleMania SmackDown. We will have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal happening tonight. Now, that would have been a lot of appearance points for everyone in the PWR draft. However, it's happening on SmackDown, so therefore it's 0 points. The SmackDown Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match would have been points for everybody at WrestleMania. That's why I picked up the Street Profits. However, not happening on WrestleMania, happening on SmackDown. And then finally, the meeting in the ring. This is the one last chance you're going to see them side by side by side until they compete. Universal Champion Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge will address the WWE Universe. The SmackDown 4-way match is going to be the Profits against the Mysterios, against the Alpha Academy, and the defending champions, the Dirty Dogs. Matthew, let's talk about the tag team match first. Who do you got?
Oh, my goodness. Run down the 4 teams in it again.
Defending champions, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the Dirty Dogs, take on challengers, the Mysterios, Ray and Dominic, Alpha Academy, Otis and Chad Gable, and the Street Profits.
Oh, my goodness. I think Dirty Dogs retain here.
Sadly, to rub it in my face, I believe the Street Profits are winning this on SmackDown.
It's very possible.
Okay, so you got the SmackDown Tag Team 4-Way. Then you've also got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Here is the official list of who is going to be in it, brought to you by Adam Scrap Daddy Pierce. Akira Tozawa, Angel Garza, Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak, Elias, Eric. Remember, we talked about Eric is going to be in there from the Viking Raiders. Grand Metalik, Humberto Carrillo, Jackson Riker, Jey Uso, Big Money Jey Uso, Kalisto, King Corbin, there's a big name as well. Isn't he a former Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner already?
He is. Yeah.
Lince Dorado, Mace, Murphy, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Slapjack, T-Bar, and Tucky. Tucky's back as well. Tucker is in the match. Matthew, who's winning this?
I'm going to go a little bit different than I did last week on this, watching the last episode of SmackDown. I know he's been featured prominently, but kind of like Sheamus that we were going to, that we've been talking about here, Jey Uso needs something to show for the last 6 months or so of work he's put in. And I get it that he's up front. I get it, that you see him with Roman, man, but just give him something he can hang his hat on. I'm going Jey Uso here.
I'm going Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, that's believable.
Okay, so Ali's going to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royals because give him something for the last year. He hasn't done anything else.
And something of note, too. I mean, these in subsequent years would have been matches traditionally on the pre-show. It looks like what they're doing on WWE is they're trying to give you a reason to tune into the SmackDown before WrestleMania, which in recent years, you really just had your package show. You had some stuff coming from Access. SmackDown before WrestleMania, for the last decade or so has not been much must-see TV. It is tonight.
It's been a lame duck show.
I give them credit for that, and I give them credit for trimming up the pre-show a little bit because that's really kind of what we've gotten into. I know they've tightened it up a little bit here in recent years, but you go back to 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe a few years beyond that, when the network was really getting used to the fact that we don't have pay-per-view limitations, and you're turning out 7-hour WrestleManias and SummerSlams. The 2-hour pay-per-views would just kind of get out of hand, and then you run into not really knowing ahead of time what's going to be pre-show, what's going to be main card. And I've always kind of felt bad for the talent that ended up on pre-show versus main card, and it just I don't know, man. I like having your set proper pay-per-views scheduled ahead of time, and I feel
I just hope that they're paying them. The guys that are appearing, that are on the SmackDown WrestleMania, they're paying them a WrestleMania appearance.
Absolutely. So we'll see how it shakes out, but I see what they're trying to do, and I think there is definite potential for success there.
One more bit of news before we go here. Dark Side of the Ring Season 3 trailer is out, and the premiere date is going to be happening Thursday, May 6th at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Matthew, I am looking forward to more Dark Side of the Ring. They have confirmed that the opening episode will be the Brian Pillman story. Also, we've got 6 episodes. Brian Pillman, Nick Cage, WCW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Collision in Korea, The Ultimate Warrior, Grizzly Smith, and the Dynamite Kid. They also apparently are going to be talking the WWE Plane Ride from Hell, Chris Canyon, Bruiser Bedlam, and Johnny Canine. And they're going to talk about Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling and XPW Extreme Pro Wrestling. We're also going to hear from the Warriors' ex-wife, Sherry Tyree. We could also hear from Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, Jake Roberts, Eric Bischoff, Jim Cornette, and David Arquette. So I'm excited. I can't wait.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's it is a series that I'm so happy has become a yearly edition, and I look forward to it. This is only the 3rd year, but man, I look forward to it every time they're back on TV, and just a month away now.
That is the end of the week normally, but coming up tomorrow morning, a special WrestleMania preview show with not just you, Matthew. I don't know if you know this. Linda Kay will be joining us as well on a Saturday morning. How does that feel?
Well, my concern is for the listeners because, when it's one of us or Linda and myself or Linda and you, we have 2 ears. So basically, one of us can be in one of the listeners' ears and the other one can be in the other one. I'm not sure.
You're saying I need to find another orifice? Because I don't know what kind of podcast you think this is.
I'm not sure how you're going to be able to get 3 people in 2 ears is all I'm saying.
It's a lot of content. We've got WrestleMania predictions for night 1 and night 2 coming up tomorrow morning. And then Sunday morning, holy smokes, Matthew Thomas and the man they call Meathead will recap night 1 of WrestleMania and again talk about what we might see on night 2. I know we talk about it in the prediction show, but you never know what's going to happen. We've got content on top of content on top of content. So for Matthew Thomas, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.